Hi, I'm Jan Rothenberg, and welcome to Good Karma Designs. Today, we're going to be talking about window treatments and lighting, two very important elements of interior design. My first guest is Jessie Stolow, and Jessie is the Chief Operating Officer of Total Window, a full-service designer window treatment showroom in Dakota, in Dania Beach, Florida. They have been there for over 20 years. And Jessie, a Cornell graduate, joined Total Window in 2006, and he has greatly increased their market share and introduced many new and exciting products to the showroom. Total Window offers impeccable attention to detail and unparalleled customer service. Welcome, Jessie.
Thank you. I couldn't have said that better myself. That was fantastic.
It is so wonderful to have you here on our show.
I'm glad to be here.
And I would love to know, and our viewers would love to know, how did you get into the window treatment business? Has it always been in your background?
Well, Total Window is a family-owned and operated business. It was started by my father back in 1985. So, in fact, next year will be our 30th anniversary of our company. And so window treatments have always been in my family blood, but I never really had any desire to join the family business. I actually, my story and the way I got into Total Window was out of college. I sort of was aimlessly wandering around, and my father came to me and said, well, you have a business background in education. Why don't you come work with me? And we'll see how we can grow and shape this business that I've created over the last 20 some odd years. And so that was really the trigger point that said to me, well, let me join with Dad and go and sort of see what we can build on top of what he had already created. And that was now 8 years ago.
That's
since
fabulous.
Since I was just a little kid dealing with window treatments for my first time.
Right. So you took a family business and then added some new energy from the younger generation to take it even to a higher level.
That's exactly right.
And as a designer, I have been in your wonderful showroom, and it is amazing, and they are just so wonderful and welcoming when you walk in to help you with the project.
Thank you. That's really one of the things that we strive for, is that a lot of times when you're working on a project, and a designer's working on a project, it can be very overwhelming to coordinate all the loose ends or the pieces involved in putting the home together. And we take an approach based on education. My family and my mother and my grandfather, we were educators, and so we really try to take a sales approach that is more based on educating, bringing together all of the pros and cons and pieces about all the different products, and then helping the designer and the client make the most informed decision, as opposed to alternatives which I've seen in the past, which is just, you know, this is the product that you need. We try to bring all of the scope of why and how and what into the project so that you can make the most informed decision.
I think that's fantastic. That's how I try to handle my clients as well. Find out, what do you need? Do you need room darkening? Do you want decorative? Do you want both? There's so many personal tastes that go into this. It sounds like you guys really listen and then give them back the best product in the budget line and all the different particulars that they're looking for.
Right. And one of the added benefits is that for my company, we have the largest catalog of window treatments in the industry. We have accounts with every major manufacturer, and we private label. So we can really shape and customize depending on the needs. Window by window specific
at any
room.
level, from commercial to residential, any project from large to small.
That's exactly right.
Fabulous. Tell us a little bit about some of the window treatments. I know there's just a huge variety, and sometimes people just glaze over. One of their biggest things when they call me is, what do I do with the windows? There's so many choices.
There are a lot of choices.
So take us through some of them.
Definitely. On the one hand, you have products that are very functional. So things that are merely in place to provide a particular function. Those are window treatments such as a solar fabric shade that you might see. In fact, a number of commercial places that you go all around the area, you'll see this type of mesh material. And that is now extended into a lot of homes. A lot of residents now will have this type of fabric. And those functionally reduce heat, glare, ultraviolet radiation, and those serve the benefit of being that functional piece in the home.
And you can still sometimes see through
Yes.
them and have the view. I use them a lot.
Yes, and they're very popular.
A lot, yes.
And those treatments and those types of products are very functional.
Right.
On the other side of the spectrum is where you have things that are very decorative, things like very elaborate and ornate draperies, or wood shutters, different things, plantation-style shutters or soji panels, or anything that's really not so functional, but just really enhances the decoration of the whole space.
Right.
And so those are really the two scopes that we sort of play in. What is now actually emerging, and particularly in the South Florida market, is that we're seeing an emergence of exterior window treatments.
Interesting. Tell us about that.
Yes.
What are those?
So the theory and the premise is that most of the functional needs of window treatments are to block heat, glare, and radiation as it comes into the home space. The theory is that if you can actually stop the sunlight and the heat and the glare from penetrating the window before it actually gets into the home, you can significantly cut down your air conditioning costs and all different various cooling things in your home. And so right now what's really emerging is this concept, and it is very early stages at the moment.
Yes.
But I always like to keep an eye on what's new and the new trends that are coming in.
Yes.
And that's really something that's going to be interesting over the next 5 to 10 years, particularly here with the heat that we get such in this marketplace, to stop the sunlight and the heat and the glare from actually coming into the home
before it even
gets
inside.
And that
very interesting.
What's further interesting about that is that it gives you the opportunity then to just look at the home interior from a decorative standpoint as opposed to also the functional standpoint.
Right.
Because you're eliminating that variable altogether.
Right.
And so then you can really just focus on how to enhance
just
the beauty
top
of the
treatments, woven woods, things
Exactly
like that,
right.
without worrying about light blocking and privacy, because you've
Exactly.
already got that covered.
Very
Very interesting trend to watch.
And it's very cool.
Yes, yes. Tell us, do you do a lot with motorization?
We do a
and
ton.
remote control?
We do a ton with motorization.
Tell us how that works.
Going back to my approach of education, I like to explain that when somebody has an idea that they want to motorize a window treatment, there's really two avenues. The one avenue that I call is a closed system.
Right.
So that is something like a motorized window treatment that operates completely independently of anything else in the house. So it is a remote control operated roller shade, for instance.
Right.
And you have a remote control and you can hit the button on the remote and the shade will lower or raise
And you
so
can
forth.
put, say, 6 on the same thing. If
Yes.
you have windows all around,
You
you
can
don't
do
want
the
to be
whole
going
home.
around opening and closing 6 windows.
That's exactly.
Up they go together,
Right.
down they
All
go
the shades
together.
can operate together.
That's the beauty
exactly.
of that, with one remote control.
Yes. Now you can take it a step further because then you can take the motorization system of window treatments and then integrate that into other parts of the home. So you can then control your entire home, including your lighting, your security system, your window treatments, your air conditioning, your entertainment center.
Right, right.
All of that can be controlled from a centralized location. And that can then even be controlled on things like a portable device, like a remote or a
you could
phone
be out
or a
at
tablet.
dinner and be doing your windows and your lights.
Or checking your security, see if somebody's knocking on the door and things
and
like
watch
that.
who's there. That is the way of the future. Everything's
so.
going to be on our computer, on our phone, on our pads, and we're going to be working all our stuff. You can turn on the oven and start dinner.
Well, so the cool thing is that this is actually going to go one step further because what's really going to start to happen is that over time, as humans develop the pattern and routine along with technology, we will actually be able to automatically adjust things like your window treatments, like your air conditioning, like starting the oven, doing things like that, all automatically based on your normal daily routine. And so window treatments, even now, you can actually program them for certain times of the day to adjust
to
automatically.
open and close before you go to bed.
That's exactly
and
right.
Open in the morning. I think that's beautiful.
Right.
Share with us, do you have any success stories of how you helped a client create some good karma in their home?
Love that. We've had a number of projects through the years that have been really unique. There was one project that we were working on in the Miami Beach area, and this was a huge 2-story span of windows, I mean, just gorgeous view. And ideally, they wanted to keep the view, and that was one of the things that was very important.
That's why you buy those units, for the view.
Exactly. And so I'm sitting there, and they want to put all of this stuff in the unit and sort of cover their beautiful view of the ocean and the water. And I'm saying to them, slow down.
Right.
Let's take a step back and see what you really need and how we're going to showcase this. So we wanted to go as large as possible with the window treatments. We got to the point where I was sitting there with my father, as a matter of fact, and we made a prototype. We took a very, very, very wide piece of wood that was almost 25 feet wide, because we can make window treatments at
any length.
That size.
That's
we had to see how it could actually get into the condo, because it wasn't going to fit through the hallway.
Elevators and condo rules.
Yes, exactly. And so we ended up that we had to adjust the size and the treatments according to the layout of the actual space. So we were able to match up lines where the windows actually operated and so forth, so that it flows with the rest of the unit as opposed to takes away from it. And that's something that's really important to us.
That is a wonderful plus. Jesse's brought us some photos, so at the close of the segment, you'll be seeing some wonderful photos of the work from Total Window. I also want to thank you, as we close, for your generous donation to the Place of Hope at the Haven.
Thank you.
Total
that was so much fun. It was so much fun.
All the window treatments for that entire boys' shelter, and just warms my heart what you did for the kids.
It was a good time. My whole team had a great time mapping the project out and actually just performing that installation, because it meant so much to the people that were a part of that thing.
And giving back is just wonderful. So tell our viewers how they can find Total Window.
Super easy.
Visit you.
Super easy. You can find us on our website at totalwindow.com. And there you'll find all of our information about all the different products that we offer and the service. You can learn about the people behind the organization. We have our phone number, we have our address, all of that stuff there. Totalwindow.com will get you all the information that you need to know.
Well, thank you, Jesse, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
It's been awesome. And stay tuned for more good karma after the break.
Hold on to me as we go.